What is going on, guys? Justin here with a video that I believe I originally promised back in 2013. A run-through of Super Metroid. And I'll explain how I'm recording this and everything as I go along, but I get right into this here. So I actually skipped the opening cutscene there. There's like a 2-minute cutscene at the beginning of the game, which the game actually auto-saves when you're dropping down the elevator there. So if you just, after you drop down the elevator, if you just reset your game, you start right there, and that's how most speedruns are generally started, which I guess this is technically considered a speedrun of the game, although I am not breaking any records by any stretch of the imagination with this run. Actually, this run isn't even close to my personal best time that I got back when I was actually running the game weekly back in 2013. So here's Ridley. Quickest way to get through Ridley here is just take damage. You can't beat Ridley here. You can shoot him until he flies away, but the quickest way to beat him is just take damage until you're below, I think, 29 health. He'll fly away, and you can begin your escape out of series here. So I'm crouching before I get to all the doors, right before I hit them, because the slowest thing you can do is hit the door. You don't want to hit the door. I got pretty lucky with the steam pattern here. I took a hit at the bottom there. I probably could have jumped over that one, but I got a good pattern and got through the rest of the room okay. You can actually damage boost off these ceiling tiles here. I'll explain a little more about damage boosting. I got some examples later on in this run. And this climb was actually pretty good. I got a 43 on the clock there, which is decent, not great. I usually shoot for a 44, but I mean, you'll see very quickly that 1 second in this speedrun is completely meaningless. And I think actually the record for that escape is somewhere in the 46, which is pretty crazy. But while we got a second here, I'll just mention that I am recording this on my SNES Classic. Actually, this is really the only game I've played on my SNES Classic since I got it. And I'm using my Roxio GameCap HD to record this, which I found at a garage sale a couple summers ago, and was never able to record with it because the software that it requires is PC only. And for the last like 5 or 6 years, I've only had a Mac. So my girlfriend's letting me borrow her Alienware desktop to do this recording, and this commentary I'm doing is post-commentary. I'm not talking as I'm playing. I did the run, and then I'm doing all this commentary after the fact. So kind of a crappy fall here. You can actually get down here with only hitting like 1 or 2 of those ledges, and you see I hit like probably 6 or 7 of them. Also, this room here was not very good. I'm just very malpracticed, I guess, at the game. It's been a while since I've actually run this game. I did a few runs, obviously, before recording this, but yeah, I'm a little bit rusty. This room here is actually possible to jump through all these platforms without hitting the ground. It is very difficult. I've done it once or twice maybe. It's almost like frame perfect with knowing how long to hold down the jump button and exactly when to jump. So we're going to drop down here and get our morph ball. Definitely one of the most valuable items in the game here. And then we're going to go get our first pack of missiles. I think this is like the part of the game that like most people recognize. Even from like the original Metroid game, this was all very similar. So here's our first pack of missiles. We don't get a ton of missiles in this run. This is not a 100% run by any means, which you'll see right here. When I jump back up, I skip the missiles to the right. There's another missile pack you can grab to the right. I did a short hop mock ball there. I'll explain more about the mock ball here coming up pretty quick. But anyway, yeah, this is not a 100% run. Actually, I believe I ended this run with 28% completion. I think most speed runs that used this route originally were closer to like 24, 25. There's a few extra like optional items to pick up along the way, a couple of which I got here just to ensure that I could beat the game. Come back through here, you got to kill all these guys in order for the door at the end to be open. Again, getting a little caught up here, still kind of find my bearing on the controls here. This climb I had here wasn't too bad, although this is a pretty safe strategy that I use here. I landed on a lot more platforms than you really need to, but again, I just wanted to ensure I wasn't going to fall all the way back down, because that's very easy to do in this particular room. So coming up here, I think I actually did, it was an accidental hero shot, and they call it a hero shot when you like shoot at something that's off screen and then chase your shot so that it actually hits something. So right here you'll see it. I shot up and then jumped up to that enemy that wasn't quite in the screen yet. That was completely accidental, but I guess it saved me a little bit of time. So through this room here is where we get our morph ball bombs. You can actually shoot that door quicker than that, but I took the safe strategy and just wait till I get right up to it, because if you miss it with one of your missiles, and it takes 5 missiles to open it, you got to go back and shoot one of those bugs and hope they drop a missile. So we got our bombs, and I was a little off on my positioning here. I think I needed to be a little bit more forward, because you'll see the Chozo statue actually steps into me and I take a hit there. You can actually do that without taking a hit, where he'll just jump right back. And I was a little bit too aggressive with the missiles. I think he absorbed one of mine because I shot him too quickly. And I think I missed one there, but again, I lost, you know, maybe a second or two there, and over the course of this run, I mean, I've already wasted so many seconds that it's pretty pointless. So coming up here is kind of a cool trick. I believe they call it the Alcatraz escape. And it's basically, you're supposed to go up the right side here and use your newly acquired bombs to get through, but if you can segregate your wall jumps, and if you're good at wall jumping, you can actually get up that way. And that trick is actually not as hard as it looks. It obviously takes some practicing, but once you get it, it's almost muscle memory, and you can get it pretty much every time. So here's our first energy tank. One of, I think, 5 energy tanks I get in this run. Most of the real serious runs, I think, are done with 4, but I grabbed an extra one just, again, because I wanted to ensure that I didn't have to game over or something, or die at the end. Using the Terminator strategy through here. I think actually if you have full missiles, it's actually just quicker to just run through those guys and just take the damage. But you need 5 missiles coming down here in order to get in the door. We're going to get the early super missiles here with that mock ball that I mentioned. So a mock ball is basically a trick. It's one of the more notorious tricks, I think, in the game. A lot of people have heard of that one. It basically allows you to keep Samus's running speed while you're in the morph ball mode. And you're going to see it right here. Actually, I botched the first attempt here. This is not a good example of the mock ball here, because I didn't do it. But I didn't lose that much time because I was going to drop down and get these missiles anyway. So I'm going to lose a few seconds here with the door transition, because you actually have to start this particular mock ball in the room before here to get it to work. But I hit it on this one here, you'll see. So I'm going to jump through the door. You got to be holding jump basically the whole time on this one. Push down, and right as you're about to land, push down again and roll it to forward. Kind of like a Street Fighter move or something. And it allows you to keep your running speed while in the morph ball mode and jump up here and get these super missiles early. Normally you're supposed to beat Spore Spawn down here in the pink Bryn Star area to get the super missiles, but this allows you to get them early. I tried a couple more mock balls in this room here, but I got a bad pattern on these side hopper things here, and I took damage, and it's not going to work if you get hit. So those didn't work there, but you can see I attempted them. So what I'm doing there with, you can see I'm aiming up and down. That's a technique called arm pumping, or not a technique, I guess, just like a strategy. And okay, here I'll talk through this wrong turn that I make here. It's pretty embarrassing. But basically, every time you push or aim up and aim down button, which on most controller setups is going to be L and R, it pushes Samus forward 1 pixel, which, I mean, over the course of an entire run, if you do it at every opportunity you get, might save you 5 or 6 seconds. So it's, again, completely not necessary, but it's something just easy to do. Like, you know, why not? If you're just, especially earlier in the game when you're just running down hallways and stuff, it's just something easy to do. So another failed mock ball attempt here. You can actually have a pretty cool mock ball through this room here, but I didn't jump quick enough and I fell down here. I think I might have tried to do one, but yeah, I bounced right here. I rolled it too early. Alright, so we're gonna go beat Kraid now and get our Varia suit. Actually, right here, the more modern speedruns, this route I'm taking is, I don't want to say outdated, but I guess it kind of is outdated. This is the run I used to take, but since I learned this route, there have been other routes discovered, quicker routes through the game. For example, I think the current world record route goes up and beats Phantoon first, goes up to the wrecked ship, which you can see I dropped down a few rooms ago. You got to go up to get it. And it requires a lot of very advanced strategies to go ahead and do that. For one, because you're so low on health and ammo, but for two, even to get into the wrecked ship without some of these items we're gonna go get right now is, I mean, it's super advanced, and I don't know, I'd have to take a lot more time to learn how to do those strategies. So pretty cool mockball there, although if I would have shot my spazer when I got out of that room, I wouldn't have had to use 2 bombs there. Got nommed on here. Those are the worst. Actually, I almost got nommed on again here. Okay, so we're about to enter Kraid's lair now, and normally you're supposed to go down and get the high jump boots to be able to get into Kraid's lair, but if you can wall jump, then you can get in there, because you can jump off this ledge and you'll just make it if you can wall jump off that little lip there. Now coming in here, I believe I killed these enemies. Yeah, I don't know why I killed these enemies. They did give me some missiles, but there's a lot quicker place to fill up your missiles coming up here. Same with this room. I believe I killed all these enemies here, maybe because I was just running a little low on health and I thought I might die, but it's quicker just to run, shoot that, and jump down here. So pop these guys with missiles, and then pop this mini Kraid up here with a super missile. That'll take them out. Here's the spot that's easier to fill up here, and I really didn't, after, you know, since I killed those enemies before, I really didn't need to fill up much. So here is Kraid, and I'm actually going to use a strategy called the quick kill here on Kraid. It's a way to kill him without him even standing up. So watch how quick this is here. The timing on that is pretty difficult, and I will admit that since I'm using the Super NES Classic, I did take advantage of the save state feature, and that was one of the spots that I save stated there. I mainly just used it before bosses because I wanted to demonstrate tricks like that I still can't get every single time. But that one's a huge time saver right there. I mean, you can kill Kraid almost instantly and get your Varia suit. You saw the room didn't even fully load there. You had to kind of blind shoot that door to jump in there. That was a damage boost right there as well. There's a better example of them coming up here, and I'll kind of explain how to do them. So you want to jump through this door. I wasted a couple missiles there. If you're running and you jump through this door, it sets up these guys up here. It positions them so you can actually just jump up here and get to the door without getting hit, but as you can see, that didn't work too well for me because I was too slow getting up there and I didn't have enough speed coming in the door, so I just decided to kill them all and say screw it. So we're going to grab another energy tank in here. If you just get all those guys on you, equip your missiles and aim up, you can take them all out at the same time. So it's actually possible to get a really nifty mock ball here, but it's very difficult to do, almost frame perfect. So as you can see, I didn't even really attempt it there. I knew I wasn't going to make it. But down into Norfair we go. So we're going to go down here and get our high jump boots, along with a couple other items. So the main strategy when you enter this room is one of those rooms where you have to kill all the enemies in order to get the door open. So you want to jump down, kill that, shoot the door, and you'll pick up that energy tank because you got to come back through there anyway in a second. But once you shoot that door open once, it's open for the rest of the game. You don't got to worry about it anymore. But if you don't shoot that door, before jumping down here, then you gotta wait for that crawler, that fire crawler, to come all the way down in order to kill it. So we got our high jump boots there. Grab this complimentary pack of missiles and our energy tank. Alright, so coming up here are, these couple rooms here are one of the slower or harder to navigate ones in the game. This one not so much, but then mainly the next one. I don't know why I shot this door with missiles. I should have just used a super missile there. Yeah, this room is a pain. Luckily, you only have to go through this room once, although you will see me go through it again at the end of the run due to mismanagement of ammo. After I go and beat Ridley. I'll explain that when I get there. The quickest way through this room, just get in your ball form and go underneath most of these guys. You're going to take damage, but it's, I mean, I didn't take a whole lot of damage, and health is not really critical at this point in the game. So this is a save room to my left here, which I don't utilize. I think I saved at a few points later in this run, just to ensure that I wouldn't have to start over if I died or if I ran out of ammo at some point. Normally, if you were actually racing the game, you wouldn't really have a reason to save, just because if you die, then you're probably not going to win the race anyway. But I guess if you were going for a game time, saving isn't a complete waste of time. I guess I should kind of describe the difference between game time and real time here while I'm going down to get the speed booster. And this pack of missiles, which is again optional. This isn't one that's required for this run, but it's one of those extra ones that I picked up to give me a little more leeway later in the game. But yeah, game time and real time. So if you're racing in this game, all you really care about is real time. You want to be the first one done with the race in real actual time. But game time doesn't count things like this, like a door transition, or if you're in the pause menu, or if you're going down like an elevator or something. That's not included in your game time, which it tells you at the end after you beat it what your game time was. And a lot of the people that go for world records now only care about game time. So that's kind of the difference between the two there. So that's why I was saying if you're wanting to save, then you're not going to lose a ton of time depending on how far away the save point is from where you are. But essentially it's just 2 door transitions, which for game time isn't that much. So coming down here, gonna go get our wave beam. I kind of botched this here. I was attempting to do kind of an advanced strategy called a down back here. See that little ledge that that little gap that I fell through? Doing a down back, if you're running over a ledge like that, and right as you're about to fall off the ledge, if you hit down and back on your directional pad, you can actually skip over the ledge, kind of like a gap skip. And it's not a huge time saver, but it's quicker than doing like a spin jump across, which I ultimately had to do there. But down backs are pretty advanced. You got to really get the timing down on those, but they are actually useful in a lot of areas, that being one of them. So we got our wave beam, and I think next we're going up to fight Phantoon. You got to work our way up there though. So this was kind of cool here. I almost had a pretty cool trick here where I equipped my missiles, I killed this thing, and I meant to shoot that little fireball thing, but instead I missed with my missile and hit the door, and then shot another missile and wasted it, although that's not a real big deal at this point. Coming down through here, I really botched this room. This was pretty bad, and you'll see why in a second here. You want to kill these crawler guys, but I accidentally shot the door. You can hear the door open there, and then I fall through it. Normally there's no reason for this door to be open, but I fell through it, and that cost me some time. So I got the jump through here, and I didn't quite make it across the ledge, nor did I stop to save there. Yeah, I really got to work on my platforming. Actually, we gotta grab our ice beam first here, and this is kind of a cool trick here. I ended up doing a speedball through here, which I guess isn't that hard to pull off, but it's by far the fastest way through that room there. It's basically your speed booster in ball form, morph ball form. So we'll grab the ice beam here, and actually the escape out of this ice beam room is pretty cool. Pretty cool trick. Well, once again, utilizes the mock ball. So normally you're supposed to go up, and honestly, I couldn't even tell you what room it is if you go up, because I haven't been up there in so long. Because this is always the way I get out of here. There's no items up there or anything to pick up. It's just purely to get out of here. So this is another utilization of the mock ball here to get back under these those gates there. Alright, so I failed another trick here in this run, but I'll kind of explain what it is. It's attempting to do a shine spark here, which if you have your speed booster and you push down on the control pad, you get your power up here. And I almost had it, I was just a little bit too high. I was trying to shine spark through this room, and it would have actually got me all the way through this room as well. Just a little bit too high on the jump. So that door at the bottom, that green door, that super missile door, is an energy refill, which typically in this run you would need to get that. To be honest, I completely forgot about it, but luckily my health I'm not in too bad a shape. But you really need a lot of health coming up here, because in order to get into the wrecked ship, it involves doing some of those shine sparks, which greatly deplete your health. And this is what I'm saying. So the current world record run comes up here first, without the ice beam, without without the Varia suit, with only a few missile packs. It's insane that they're able to actually come up here and beat the wreck ship with so little supplies. We're gonna come down here though and get our power bombs, our first power bombs of the game. And actually, this is the only power bomb pack that you really need to pick up in this game. I do end up getting one extra one later. And I'll explain why when we get there. There is a pack of missiles behind this Chozo statue here if you use one of the power bombs you just got, but it is not needed. We got another bad room. You can damage boost off those guys and get across the room fairly quickly. So coming up here, I actually made a pretty critical mistake here. I should have used a power bomb right here to open that door, even though I'm not going in it right now. We have to come back down here, and I actually screwed myself on one of my attempts. Like I said, I am using save states here, so I had save stated when I got to Phantoon up here, and I beat him, and I got all the way down here and didn't have a power bomb to open that door. So rather than just go back up, these guys drop super missiles. These cactuses drop super missiles very often, but not power bombs. So I would have had to come all the way up this elevator, and these enemies up in the next couple of rooms do drop power bombs, but I just decided to reset at that point because I hadn't gone too far past Phantoon anyway, and I don't think I had a great fight anyway. The one I actually ended up using for this run was pretty good. These are the guys that drop power bombs, so I probably could have grabbed one because I'm going to use another one here. And this is what I'm saying. So this part, you're going to see an edit here. I open the door and watch, it's going to come back. That was an edit I made because this trick took me probably 2 minutes to actually do this, 10 tries probably to get this right. But this is the shine spark I'm talking about. Try and get these missiles. Sometimes you jump too high and you miss these missiles, but you can get them on the way back. And we actually got to do another one here. So now these charges I'm doing are what are called short charges. You can manipulate Samus's run. See, I missed it there, but I can do it just in this room with a 2-tap short charge. What you got to do is you got to walk for a few steps, hold run, and then you tap it again. I mean, I'm not going to be able to explain it in a video like this, but you're essentially manipulating Samus's run animation and getting your charge built up quicker than you would normally be able to. You can do just a regular short charge as a 2-tap. It's called the super short. There's like a 4-tap too. I've never even done the 4-tap one. You wouldn't really, there's not a lot of places where I think you would use that, but you can build up a charge in a very, very short amount of time with a 4-tap. So I killed a few of these enemies here to get some energy back. So I am low after those shine sparks. This is probably a little lower than I want to go into Phantoon with, but you can't get too picky on your health at this point. You gotta beat them. So we're gonna enter here, and this is one of the spots that I save stated here. I edited out the save state process just for time's sake, but this trick I'm gonna do here to help me beat Phantoon is called it's a power bomb combo called the X Factor. So I took my ice beam off there. This trick is very difficult to time. So I know people have different timings on it. I'm kind of using an older timing method doing this, but right here I'm just going to try and get some health. And when his eye opens, I could have shot him there, but I missed my opportunity, so now I got to wait for him. He's going to come out here again, and I'm going to shoot him once. Well, I'm going to miss him once. Now I'm going to shoot him once. I'm going to shoot him again, and I'm going to time this so when he comes back in the room, I'm up in the top left corner of the room. I have my charge beam going, my power bomb's equipped, and I took off my spazer, and it does what's called the X Factor there. You saw I had 4 beams come together there right on the center of his eye, and I made a critical mistake here as well. I should have put my my spazer back on, because if I would have, he would be dead right now. A charge shot, a missile, and a super missile would have killed him, but unfortunately I forgot to put that beam back on, and now he's very upset. If you use super missiles on Phantoon, this is what happens, and this is not only a huge time waste, but if you don't know that you can jump through them with the charge beam, even if you do know, you're still going to take a lot of damage. You see, I'm almost dead here, but I did manage to save this fight. All I need is one more charge shot, and he's dead, so I'm just trying to get some health here and wait for him to open up his eye. Missed him there, but he comes out real quick again, I think. Maybe not. There he is. And he's dead. See, that's all I was waiting for, was that one last hit. But I just, I was excited that I got that X Factor trick that's very hard to time. So I was like, you know what, I'll go ahead and keep this run. Plus I got to show what happens when you shoot Phantoon with a super missile, which you don't want to do. So there I put my, my spazer back on. So we made it through that. That is a very easy spot to blow a run, especially because Phantoon is one of those guys that has different patterns that he'll give you, and sometimes you get a really quick pattern, he'll open his eye right away. You can get that X Factor in. Other times though, you're waiting a while for him to open up, and that's what is kind of frustrating, because that can ruin a run just by getting unlucky and getting a bad pattern from Phantoon. So that is actually the last pack of super missiles I believe I pick up in this run. There is one that you can grab in Meridia, where we're headed to kind of right now, but I actually don't grab them in this run. I meant to and I forgot, but luckily they're not one of the essential ones. So coming up here, this room I'm about to enter up here, I did very poorly, but I was pretty excited because actually like I said, I did a few runs of this before I actually recorded this, and I got this trick up in this room here. And so I tried it again, and it just didn't work. So you lay a power bomb there. That's going to kill these 2 enemies here. There's one more to the right here. And this is one of those rooms you got to kill all the enemies to get through. You can build up a shine spark here, which I took damage, so it didn't work. I actually had a window where I could have hit down and got it there. And I think I tried again just because I wanted to demonstrate how cool this trick was. And it didn't work. So I said, screw it, I'm just going to shoot the enemies and move on. But essentially, if you build up a shine spark there and do a horizontal shine spark across this room, you can wipe out all those enemies I just killed, including this one, and you're going to end up right by the door with it open. So that's what I was trying. Didn't work. Pretty difficult trick to pull off. Again, especially with this low of health, I might have been hurting coming up here, but it is a major time saver. I didn't even mean to build that one up. So I think well, no, actually I didn't farm there. I probably should have, but I have full power bombs and almost full missiles, so I'm not doing too bad. Here's another spot right here where I tried to build up a, you can actually use that water to your advantage. Since I don't have the gravity suit yet, I'm going to move slower in water. It didn't work though. You can build up a shine spark here and go across this room. I did get a damage boost there, but it ended up hurting me more than it helped me because I took another damage right away. I think they call this room the bowling alley. This is one of the few breaks you get in the game anyway. You just wait for him to walk down through the spikes. And we're going to get our gravity suit. Okay, so there's items and stuff. You can drop down here and go to the right under that pipe there, and there's items and stuff that you would get in a 100% run. But here is our gravity suit. Now we're headed down to Meridia. Try to damage boost off that. I'm actually not even sure you can, because you're not in this. I wasn't in a spin jump, so that wouldn't have worked anyway. Maybe you don't have to be. I'm not sure. I've never done one off there before. Did I really bomb this wall? Oh my god. Theoretically, you should be able to just jump over that, or wall jump over it. I don't know why I decided to just take the easy route. You can actually do a spin jump into that with your charge beam and kill that enemy there. So here's where I use this, and I did get my power bomb back. Okay, so I'm in good shape here. But yeah, like I said, the previous time I beat Phantoon and was running back through here, I didn't have a power bomb coming down here. So that's why you open this door down here first. But luckily I've got plenty right now. Because you need one here, and then you need one to get down into Meridia as well. So you actually need to make sure you have two right here. I think I tried to damage boost again through this room, and I did, but it didn't work too well. That one's hard to get coming back. You saw when I initially came through this room, I believe I got it, but that one is more difficult to get coming back through. So here's where I finally get my energy refill, which was a good idea. You can do a pause recharge there. I actually do that later in the run. I'll explain it there. It saves a little bit of game time. Not much though. I don't know why I can't get that damage boost. I very rarely get that one, although that's one of the easier ones to get. So not as worried about the water now that we have the gravity suit. We're just going to focus on getting through Meridia now. There's really not a lot that we pick up in Meridia, like an energy tank maybe, and then you get the space jump when you beat Draygon. I think I blew this too. I jumped at the wrong time. You don't necessarily have to fall down there. You can jump while the glass is breaking and get up here quicker. But so here we are in Meridia, and like I said, this is pretty much just go straight to Draygon. Takes a frame perfect jump to get up here. You can actually jump right out that door and up here, but like I said, it's like a frame perfect jump. And actually, I should probably have my ice beam back on right here. I just never turned it back on. So here's another shine spark here. That one though, you don't need to do like a short charge or anything. You can just do your regular charge and diagonal shine spark up that room. Definitely the fastest way up there. So we're going to see our Metroid friends up here in this room, which are very handy if you need item drops, although I'm pretty solid right now. I blew that though. You have to have your I don't know why I decided to waste a power bomb there. You need your speed booster to get through there. So this fight here, I safe stated here, and actually had a pretty quick fight. You can X Factor him up there right when he comes out, but that if you, I mean, the Phantoon one's hard enough. That one's very, very strict on time. Although I do the X Factor here. It's kind of a crapshoot though on where where he goes. I did get lucky to hit him with 2 of them there at least. And the thing about this is, if you still have those things spinning around you, you can't really do much else. You have to wait for them to go away. And I got lucky here. I just took a good lucky guess at where he was coming out, pumped him with 4 more supers, and he was dead. So energy is not a huge factor here because we're gonna grab an energy tank in this next room here. This one that I'm about to grab is actually, I should really have my ice beam on here, because you can run underneath all these guys and you freeze them with your ice beam. But anyway, this energy tank I'm grabbing right here is optional. I've done it without getting this energy tank. So some people will like to beat the game with 4. I'm going to beat it with 5. We're going to grab one more before this is over. Speed boost across here. And then I'm going to fill up here on my super missiles, which I'm going to need to beat Draygon. And see, I kind of ruined it. I sunk down too far and I killed an enemy too quick, and see that missile's just sitting down there, so that was kind of a waste. I think do I finally put my ice beam back on? No, I don't know why I paused right there. So not the cleanest ammunition refill, but we're going to take it and move on after I finally get my 10th super. So you can actually do a trick right here if you build up your charge. And I think I don't even know why I attempted it. I knew there was no way I was going to get it. But you can build up a charge here. See, I tried, but... and if you jump up here quick enough, you can actually shine spark through this door and get half or all the way through this room, depending on where you shine spark from. This is by far one of the slowest rooms in the game. At least coming through the first time when you don't have the space jump. It sucks, but I mean, if you don't get that shine spark, this is what you got. You can damage boost off a few of those, which I failed to do there. I think I might save up here. Up and to the right is a save spot. Yeah, I'm gonna go up and save here and waste a super missile, which, thinking back on it, I probably could have used. But we're gonna go down and fight Draygon now. There are quite a few different strategies for Draygon. A lot of people know that if you get grabbed by him and you use your grapple beam against one of these like turrets on the side, which you'll see right here, after you shoot him with missiles, you can kill him very quickly that way. But I don't have the grapple beam, nor am I going to get it, so I just save stated, and this took me a few tries to get a good fight here. But you can actually build up, and I'm going to practice a few of them here since, well, you're waiting for him to come out. You can build up a shine spark here with a 2-tap, and the shine spark is very effective against Draygon. I don't think I get it initially, but I do get it during this fight. So I got a decent pattern here. See, I got it right there. That's where I got it. And you can see that, I guess you can't really see, but that does a lot of damage. I'm going to jump off and pump him with super missiles. And he's already almost dead, actually. I'm going to try and do another one, although I know he's not going to go into his goo phase 2 times in a row. But we're going to get rid of his goo here and pump him with missiles. And I don't think I kill him right here. Like I said, I could, if I would have had that extra super missile that I wasted on that save door, he'd probably be dead right now. But I got a good pattern. He's coming out again. I think just one more charge shot will do it. Or I use my 2 missiles and then I use a lucky charge shot there right as he was disappearing. So not the fastest Phantoon, but that one was pretty good. I was glad that I got that shine spark in there to show you guys that you can build it up here and hit him with the shine spark. You can do an X Factor on Phantoon or Draygon as well. Some people like to go that route. That probably, if you can pull that off, is probably the quickest route, at least in like an any % run. So we got our space jump here, which is very helpful underwater. It's one of those weird items in the game where, like, underwater, it has different physics than when you're not underwater. It's a lot quicker to jump underwater with the space jump. So this room here, again, going back across this crappy room, if you get this pretty much frame perfect, you can get a faster jump through this room. But you see I hit either the ceiling or one of the platforms there, and now I'm really going slow. I don't think these Metroids actually hurt you though, unless you're standing still. So we're going to take a trip through Cactus Alley right here, try and get some of our super missiles back. These cactus enemies here are, I don't know, it's like I don't know what percentage drop it is to get super missiles, but it's almost guaranteed if you're low or if you don't have full super missiles. So a couple more crappy rooms and then we're out of Meridia, and we're gonna go fight Ridley again. So this is a good spot to fill up here. I have full super missiles, but it's a little low on health, and I'm still low on regular missiles. We're gonna grab one more essential item here, if I can get up here. Come on. I said it throws you off because when you're underwater, your space jump, you can jump so much more quickly, and then when you get out of water, you got to kind of adjust to it. But in here, up here, is the plasma beam. Which I still don't have my ice beam on. I didn't realize I had it off for this long. It probably would have saved me a lot of time already. But here's our plasma beam. You gotta kill all the enemies in this room for the door to open back up. So I actually think I had a pretty strong second half of this run. The beginning was obviously sloppy, at least compared to what I know I can do, because even though back when I was practicing to run this game, I had an emulator and I would use save states just to practice rooms over and over and over that I needed to practice at. You still end up playing the beginning of the game way more than any other part of it. So even though I thought the beginning of my run was pretty sloppy, I was actually kind of satisfied that this run got better and better as I went along. So we're coming up here to another one of the crappier rooms in the game. Unless you can pull it off quickly, if you can build up a decent run through here and time your space jumps correctly, you can get through here very quickly. And as you can see, I hit the ceiling there. And especially under these waterfall, sandfall things, it really slows you down. But we are gonna get the heck out of Meridia. Actually, we end up coming back through here after Ridley. That's the quickest way to get back up to your ship and to drop down to Tourian, but we got to go fight Ridley first. And actually, I think I took kind of an alternate route here than what I would normally take. I'm gonna go down this elevator, and I'm trying to remember exactly where I go here. Alright, so I'm going to drop all the way down to the bottom of this room, go through this area here, and I actually think I stopped to save here, although I probably didn't need to. But I was pretty much standing in the thing, and actually right here I think I do a ledge grab. Yeah, so you saw there, you might have noticed when I landed on that ledge, I was aiming up or down, and I'll explain ledge grabbing in a second here. I'm kind of curious. Yeah, so I dropped down right here. I should have just went straight across, because going this way you have to deal with some BS in this room, and if I went the other way, there's a good spot to fill up my energy and missiles before going down into lower Norfair. Although I can fill up my energy right here, it was just kind of I don't know, I ended up going through an extra room there that I didn't need to go through. That might have been another ledge grab right there. So ledge grabbing is basically you got to be doing a spin jump, and right as you clear a ledge that you're trying to land on, if you press aim up or aim down, on your, which for me is L or R, and you do it correctly, it'll essentially snap Samus to the ledge, allowing her to land quicker. And again, not a huge time saver, but if you master ledge grabbing, you can do some really quick climbs, especially earlier in the game. Do I finally put my ice beam back on here? Yes. And I turned off my plasma beam, which is not what I wanted to do. So we're gonna go back and change that. So yeah, anyway, ledge grabbing is another kind of advanced tactic, but it can be a huge time saver, and it makes for some really slick platforming. It looks really cool if you can do it every time. So headed to the right here. Again, this is basically go fight Ridley and get out of here. I mean, there's really not a whole lot of items that we need to grab in here. So here's another trick I attempted here. A very cool trick if you can pull it off. Also very difficult to get this timing down because you got to build up your... Look, I already equipped my power bombs. I knew I wasn't going to get this. You can build up a shine spark here. You might even be able to do it just in this room and a little bit of the next one, but I'm not going to get it here. And you can actually either shine spark through this, or you can actually, you have your speed booster built up. You can space jump through this without having to use these power bombs or use your health doing a shine spark. Even if you do get the charge, though, it's difficult to time the jumps. It's very easy to get caught in between those pillars. So this room is another spot where, I'll be honest, I made a little cut here because this was a disastrous room that took me so much longer than it should have. You saw right there, I ended up just killing everything, going up here and power bombing this, which you have to do anyway, but it took me seriously like a minute and a half to kill all those things, which is ridiculous. So I just, for time's sake and for my dignity, I just made a little bit of an edit there to skip some of that nonsense. So this next room here, if you spin jump to this door and time your space jumps correctly, you can avoid dropping all the way down to the bottom of the room. However, it is almost the same amount of time to just drop all the way down and space jump from the bottom. That's just, I feel, an easier way to do it. You don't have to worry about getting shot by as many enemies climbing back up. So here, I decided to kill these enemies here because I'm low on health and I didn't want to mess this up. But these are enemies that, with the plasma beam, you can actually shoot, and in their invincibility state between hits, you can actually run through them without taking damage yourself. I'm not sure if I do it on the way back or not. I believe I tried to. I'm not sure if I got any of them. It's not that hard to do, though. And another save here, which this one was a little more necessary than the last one. I tried a ledge grab there, but it didn't work. So now here, this is interesting. I knew I needed a power bomb to open this door here, so I didn't use one there. I used regular bombs to get through here, and now unfortunately I'm going to need another power bomb in this next room, and I don't have any. So I'm going to pick up, there's actually another item in this room, another set of power bombs that I wouldn't normally grab. You can also run through these enemies too while you're shooting them. So these power bombs here I wouldn't normally grab, but I need a power bomb to drop down right here, so I'm going to bomb this and grab this extra set of power bombs here. And down we go. There's a trick you can do here to actually glitch through these little spike elevators here. I have never been sure how to do that. I've done it on accident before. But anyway, this is kind of cool in here, this room. Beating these guys. There's a couple different ways to do it. You can do it without getting hit like I just did there, but basically that's what you want to do. See, I got hit there. You can avoid that, but have them jump over you and shoot your charged plasma beam through them, and you can kill them with one hit. Otherwise, those guys are a pain. It is actually quicker in this room to just drop down in the lava and run, but you see I'm not very confident in my amount of health, or, well, my missiles don't really matter. I'm not going to use regular missiles on Ridley. That's a bad idea. The quickest way to beat Ridley, theoretically, would be 20 super missiles, but seeing as I only ever get half that in this run, we got to use other methods. And I'm not even going to have 10 because I'm going to use one right here. So again, I save stated right here, but actually I think this Ridley fight, I just did on my first try. It wasn't great, but it was acceptable for this run. I missed the first super missile there. Actually, I think I missed a couple more too. You don't want to miss them. There's another one missed, even if it means I missed 4 or 5 of those. So really, this fight wasn't that good. Actually, these charged plasma shots do more damage than the super missile, but they shoot a lot slower. And with my controller configuration, it's very hard to jump, aim, and shoot them at the same time. You almost have to turn your hand over on the controller and kind of claw at it, as opposed to just hitting the buttons with your thumbs. So you see I'm kind of missing on a few of these here, which I should be hitting them on, but that's again because the controller setup I have that allows me to get through the rest of the game really quickly is not ideal for this particular boss. But again, this was an okay fight. A lot of people know you can't actually use a power bomb at the very beginning of the Ridley fight to damage him, but it does hardly any damage, and he's invincible for like 5 seconds after you do it, so don't use a power bomb on Ridley. And actually, I think he's dead right here, but he likes to finish his animation, so I just go into ball form and he'll grab you, and I'm almost dead. One more hit and I would have been dead, I think. But I got him. Not the quickest fight, but again, that was my first try on that, and I was just like, you know what? We got him. I don't know why I wasted time grabbing that health, because this energy tank I get right here is going to give me full health. And that's it. Those are the we're done with the 4 main bosses of the game. It's time to let's go finish this thing. But we gotta get out of here first. And actually, I might have just ran through the lava at this part here in this next room. At least I hope I did, because I don't need to worry about health at the moment. So I actually think I stop at my ship. Yeah, here I go through the lava. I stop at my ship. See, I built up the Shine Spark there, and you can Shine Spark across this room for not a huge time saver, because once you run into the wall with a Shine Spark, there is like a second and a half delay where you're kind of stuck on the wall. But yeah, so this was a rough room as well. Use my power bomb to get out here, and I think I tried to run through these enemies. I don't think I wasted time trying to kill them, and I don't know that it worked fully. Yeah, see, that one just kind of jumped over me. Missed the mock ball there. I don't know that power bomb was completely necessary either. And actually, you know what? I shouldn't have used that power bomb, because you're going to see what's going to happen to me here. Yeah, now I just realized that if I would have saved that power bomb, not the last one I used, but the one before that, I would have been a lot better off, because coming up here, I run into a little bit of trouble. Yeah, so you can run through those enemies. I took damage there. That's not how you want to do it. But once you get the timing down on them, I mean, it's easy to do. You essentially shoot those enemies right as you're about to take damage from them, or as you think you're going to take damage from them. And look at that unintentional damage boost shot me back across the whole room. Yeah, so I think I stopped at my ship up here just to refill everything, because I would have been hurt, and I took a lot of damage getting back up here that I didn't need to take. Yeah, I mean, this is... I would have been hurting going down into Tourian in this shape. See, I almost had one there. I got halfway through the enemy. I skipped through that middle one just because I was already invincible from being hit by the first one, but... yeah, I'm hurting right now. And so we gotta go back through Meridia here. You can do quick falls through those, like, crumble blocks there, too. I think if you're pushing down and turning, or changing direction as you hit them, you fall through them quicker. It's useful in a few spots in the game, that being one of them, but again, it's such a minuscule time saver. So here's where I needed a power bomb. Look, I even tried for it. I didn't have a power bomb. I thought about going back up and killing something for it, but I was like, you know what? We're just going to take the alternate route back through that terrible room that I hope I would never have to go through again. Although I wasted probably 20 seconds before I thought to do this. We're just going to go through here. Now that I have the gravity suit, this lava doesn't hurt me. The enemies still do, but they do so little damage that it's, like I said, I'm going to refill anyway when we get back up here. This dreadful room that I shouldn't have had to come back through. It's not as bad with the space jump, though. So in a normal run, I would kind of be watching my missile count right now, at least my super missile count. But since I've already made up my mind that I'm stopping back at the ship to refill everything, it's not that big of a deal in this run. But you want to make sure you have at least a decent super missile count going down into Tourian because, well, I'll explain it when we get there. So we're gonna, like I said earlier, we're gonna go back through Meridia here. It's the quickest way to get back to the entrance to Tourian. Gonna get to see a few different rooms we didn't see the first time through Meridia, though. And then, again, this time we have the space jump, so it's a little easier. And look, I have my ice beam on this time, so I can actually freeze these guys. Although that ended up coming back to bite me right there because it knocked me back down. So instead of going to the right and up to the top corner of this room, we're going to go actually up here. Up in this door. And it's going to take us out to a pretty nifty spot. So here we are back in Red Brain Star, and we can go up. This is where we were going to the wreck ship here, but instead of going to the right this time, we're going to go to the left. Stop at our ship quick, and then go to the entrance to Tourian. So that's what I mean with the power bomb drops. See, those guys, just like the cactuses always drop super missiles, those guys are almost guaranteed to drop power bombs if you need them. I didn't have any here, but again, we're going to refill right here, and I believe, actually, I don't even think I save right here, or maybe I do. It gives you the option to save after you refill. I'm not sure if I probably do, since it's just a one click of the button, but we'll see. No, actually I did not, which was probably good because, I mean, it would have been a pointless save anyway. I shouldn't die at this point, seeing as I have full everything. So you can get a cool jump through here with a space jump. You can actually time it, and you can end up all the way through this little blockade there. I obviously didn't do it there, but you can. And I blew that too. If I just would have jumped a little bit higher, I would have just basically clung to the ceiling the whole way through this room and wouldn't have had to kill all those enemies, but whatever. A lot more effective Terminator strategy here than just the single missiles. I probably actually should have opened that door with regular missiles. Like I said earlier, so you really got to watch your super count coming down in here, because you're going to need them to kill the Metroids, and they don't always drop supers back for you. And basically, the first phase of Mother Brain is only beatable with missiles and super missiles. So if you run out of missiles, maybe you miss a couple or they get absorbed by the enemies around Mother Brain, that's it. I mean, you either hoped you saved it before you went in that room, or you just game over, because you can't charge shots. Even the charge plasma beam on the first phase of Mother Brain does nothing. So here's one of the, this is the bomb jump room where you practice your bomb jumping here, because there's nothing else to do. There's no way to skip past this, unfortunately. But here we go, down to Mother Brain. Now I grabbed that extra pack of missiles right before I got the speed booster, so I have 5 extra ones that I wouldn't normally have coming down here, so it gives me a little bit of leeway anyway. So that's the save room to the right there, but I'm not going to save it. So you gotta freeze these, super missile them. Freeze, super. Actually, I think here it's just quicker to run through the lava. And I missed him. Where did he go? I gotta go back for him. That's great. Oh, my capture card didn't even pick up the whole Metroid there. It didn't look like it, just had the insides of them. That's kind of weird. So this room, actually, I think you can kill both of them in here with one super missile, but I froze them a little bit too far apart. I was a little early on the freeze there. But I mean, I'm getting good drops here. I've still got full super missiles right now. Oh, and there we go. Just sails one, and I didn't get it back. So hopefully this guy drops me a couple here. Yeah. So I got pretty lucky with the drops. That's what you don't want to do. You do not want to waste a super missile at this point. This one here actually ended up... That's what you want to do right there. You want to get them all down on one level, and you can actually kill all those with one as well. As you see, I'm missing a super missile here, which isn't going to be a game over for me, but ideally you want full. Alright, so coming through this room here, you got options in this room, basically. If I was doing a 100% run, I would probably take off my suits right here and take damage from this side hopper, because you'll see in a second, the Metroid's going to jump on you and drain all your health. And if you're doing a 100% run and you have all the energy tanks right here, it takes quite a bit of time for the Metroid to drain your health. But since I only have 5 energy tanks, it only takes a couple seconds to drain my health there. I have actually seen people skip the Metroid here, like avoid getting grabbed by it. Which actually I think the world record any percent run does that. So I think he actually comes down here with not full health, but he doesn't have 1 health through here. That's really bizarre though. I've never even tried to do that. It's very difficult to do, and I think if you're playing on an actual cartridge, you can screw it up doing that because it's essentially glitching the game. But I don't know why. So here's the pause save there. So I filled up my energy. I paused, and then it essentially refills your energy as you're jumping back across the room. It's kind of just a weird thing that you would do for like if you're going for game time. But again, it saves like a second. So if you were racing, you want to do that because it takes more real time. It just saves game time. All right, so we're coming down here. 35 missiles, 7 supers. So that is enough to beat the first phase of Mother Brain, assuming I don't waste a bunch of them. So I'm going to save it here, and this trick that I'm about to do after I drop down into this next room here is kind of difficult to do, but it is absolutely essential to beating this game with this route, because what you're going to do here is I'm going to glitch through this here. I missed the first one, but I'm going to get it right here. You're going to see me jump right through this. So you want to jump in the room. You want to kneel down, freeze that little donut thing, take damage from the one that drops from the ceiling, and you can spin jump through that little blockade. And then the rest of them don't show up. And that's how you save enough super missiles. And because those you got to beat with missiles too. And so if you use all your missiles on them, you're not going to have enough to beat this phase of Mother Brain here. Which, okay, so you see I had probably 12 extra missiles. I forget the exact count of missiles and supers that you need coming in here, but I had, I had some leeway. So really, I probably didn't need to grab that pack of missiles before the speed booster, but better safe than sorry. So I think this was actually a really good Mother Brain fight, if I remember correctly. Mother Brain takes 20 charge plasma shots, which is kind of funny because that actually makes her probably the easiest boss in the game, at least in this route that I'm taking. The only thing that you have to make sure you don't get hit by is this red beam, this anger beam that she's about to shoot at me here. If you get hit by that, you could be done, because sometimes it only takes 1 tank of damage, but depending on how square you get hit with it, it could take 2 tanks of damage. And that could put you out, because you need at least 2 plus some health to survive this. I think this takes 2 tanks here. So luckily I had enough health still, and actually I could have taken a little more damage just by running into her leg or something beforehand to avoid these 2 extra shots that she had to put on me there. But yeah, here comes our ending sequence here. I have seen people, there's some different glitches you can do during this fight, and I'll be honest, I'm not 100% up to date on them. There's ways to avoid being pretty much down and out right here, and you can be charge shotting Mother Brain while she's purple and asleep here. I've also seen another glitch that involves going in and out of the pause menu a bunch of times, and I've never took the time to learn what that was. If I'm being 100% honest with you guys, I very well might have cried the first time that I beat this game, and and this happened, or what's about to happen here. My special little friend. At least I can see this whole Metroid, unlike the other mini ones where I could just see like the brains, the innards. But yeah, here we go. We're gonna get the Hyper Beam, and it's basically this was actually not a very good end to this fight. You got to get right up in Mother Brain's grill with this and just blast her away. But I stayed back. I played it conservative a little bit and took some damage that I didn't need to take. You see, I got knocked back, and I just kind of stayed back here and finished her off. Missed a few shots. I guess it wasn't too terrible. Yeah, so you can do that ending a lot quicker than that. But at this point, I was like, you know what? Let's just finish this game. Let's have a good escape back to the ship and finish this thing off. So here we go with the escape. I don't think I had a particularly good escape on this one, but we'll see. So these things are a pain. This is like the worst room. The first room is like the worst room of the escape. Because from here you can enter this room and you can build up your charge here. I think I might have even built it up to a little... Yeah, see, I was a little early on that build up, but I can still get up here. This room I think was a little bit rough for me. So I should have killed that. I should have shot through the wall there and killed that enemy. Although it doesn't make a huge difference because I can kill him right here when I'm falling down anyway. Which I missed. I can't tell if I got him there or not. I guess we'll see when I climb back up here. It's quicker to wall jump here than to just use your space jump. Yeah, so I might have killed that guy. Anyway, you got to make sure you build up your Shine Spark here, even if it means turning around and getting through this door, because this is... I mean, there's no quicker way up that room. If you miss that, then you gotta climb all the way back up. And again, with the space jump, it's not as long, but Shine Spark's where you want to go. I'm not gonna save the animals in this. Some of you probably know that if you drop back down right here where we got the power ball or morph ball bombs in the beginning, you can save your friend creatures, who I don't even think we saw at all in this game, because I didn't go in those particular rooms. But it makes, I mean, it doesn't affect your game at all. You see one little sprite at the end fly out here after the planet explodes. But anyway, so this is going to end, and it's going to give me my my completion time here, which again is nowhere near my personal best time, but this was more or less just an example of the route that I used to take and some of the tricks that I used to use and still use when I run through this game. Yeah, so I think right here, if you save the animals, you see a little, like, one little pixel fly out from the right here, which I guess is them leaving on their spaceship. I don't know. Not important. So let's see what my final time ended up being. Again, this was with a few save states. This wasn't all in one run, but... Well, it was one run, but I took a few tries at some of those bosses. 51. Okay, so my personal best time, I got a 39 before. And I can't remember if that 39 was like an actual race that I used to do on Twitch, or if it was just one of my like personal attempts at the game. Either way, my videos aren't still uploaded on Twitch, so I can't go back. I tried to go back and look, and they're not there. So I don't know if I'm ever going to match that 39 again, but I suppose if I keep practicing at this, I'm sure I can. I believe the current world record is a 28 game time, which is insane. I mean, I remember back when I was originally running this game in 2013, that route that I just took was like the route. That was the one that everyone took, especially the people that were going for the records. And I think a 31, maybe a 30 was the record back then. And to shave 2 minutes more off of that is really kind of insane. When you're talking about saving, you know, seconds throughout a run with some of these strategies, to shave off 2 minutes, that's the route, though, that involves going and beating Phantoon first, which I alluded to earlier. in this commentary, which maybe I'll give that a try, but that involves some super advanced strategies, bomb jumping across the water to get to the wreck ship, and then beating Phantoon without the various suit and with like a very small number of missiles, and you wouldn't even have super missiles. Well, I guess you would have super missiles at that point, 5 of them anyway. That's not that you would use them on Phantoon anyway. So anyway, so that's it, guys. I apologize for taking so long to get this video done. I really wanted to do this back in 2013 when I was actually like much better at the game, but I just didn't have the means to do it. I mean, yeah, I was using an emulator. I had a USB adapter so I could use a real Super Nintendo controller, and I actually did try it a couple times, but I just never got the commentary right, and it was just a big ordeal that never happened. It's just so much easier to do now that I have the SNES Classic and that HD recorder that I can just HDMI into and get this done. So anyway, I'm gonna let the rest of these credits run out here. I'll leave you guys to see Samus in her bikini here. So for everyone that stuck around and watched this whole thing, thank you. If you have any questions about some stuff that I did, feel free to drop a comment and I will let you know. Or maybe even if you guys want some more tutorials on some of these tricks, I can do some other videos just focus solely on that and explain them more in depth. But yeah, thanks for watching. I think this is going to give me my item completion here of, I believe, 28%. Yep, 28%. Thanks for watching, guys. Take care.